Hi, my name is Bridget and I live with invisible disabilities. So because my disabilities are not apparent, you can't see them from the outside, and sometimes that makes them harder to understand. However, I have still experienced ableism and discrimination, and so I am taking a moment here to create a video for Live On and this very important campaign to address ableism and how it impacts disabled people. So growing up in the 80s, we didn't have a whole lot of disability awareness, at least where I was, but I grew up in urban Phoenix, in a great place, in a great school, but I didn't have a language for my disability experiences, and I didn't start to understand that part of myself until I had a suicide attempt in my teens, and then started going to therapy and taking medication, and I still didn't recognize that these were disabilities until really not that long ago. So I've lived a lot of my life feeling kind of broken, ashamed a lot of times. It's affected my self-esteem, and I think that through advocacy, we are empowering people and changing the narrative, and so I'm really grateful for that. So I'm trying to do my part. So we just had World Suicide Prevention Day, and it got me thinking about this whole narrative around disability that assumes that we're better off than disabled. And I've heard different types of dialogue around suicide rights and things like that. I just want to say that I think that it's important for us to do suicide prevention as a default, because when people are feeling suicidal, a lot of times we're feeling impulsive, and that's not what we really want. We just want the pain to stop. We don't really want to die. I have a daughter that I love dearly, more than anything, who needs me, and so I just appreciate that people have supported me during times when I couldn't support myself. And I think that's what community is all about. And I also think it's important to talk about what are the best ways to prevent suicide, because I don't think that getting the police involved is necessarily the best idea, but sometimes that's the only option that we have. I think that it's important for us to consider different models, and I know that some police departments and states are using mental health practitioners as first responders, and I think that's moving in the right direction. So thank you, Live On, for doing this great campaign. I think that we have lives that are worth living, and if we want to be logical about it, I think we could look at pros and cons, and I think that it would be hard for us to find too many reasons why we shouldn't be here. I think that all of us contribute to diversity and the richness of our communities, and so we're valuable. And I also want to just make a point that suicide risk is higher for people with disabilities because of oppression and stigma. So Live On is doing a great service for the community by helping to challenge those issues, challenging ableism and stigma, and just creating more space for people to come out and talk about their experiences. So one thing that I did recently is I wrote a book called String of Paper Sons, which is a memoir, and it focuses on my story and also raising my daughter who's disabled, but it mainly is my story, and it does talk a little bit about some of my mental health experiences and how I've been targeted, and how because of my disabilities I've been more vulnerable. So I've been through a lot of violence, but I think the main message or the overarching theme of my story is all the people in the community that have been supportive, that have also seen the potential in me, even when others didn't, or even when I couldn't. So I think all of us coming together and doing this advocacy is really powerful and meaningful, and I just wanted to participate, and I look forward to learning from you all. And so we are disabled and proud, and we got to keep spreading the love. So take care, everybody. I will look forward to continuing to learn from you all. And thank you again for the opportunity to participate in this amazing campaign. It's all of us doing our part will help shape the narrative for the future and create space for everyone and make the world a more inclusive place. So take care. Bye.